How'd the scrimmage go?
You know what? I don't know. I won't know until I look at it on film. We lost. The offense won today. That's not what we want. But until I get a chance to look at it on tape, I really don't have an idea. I thought our energy was high. I thought our effort was high. But at the end of the day, the offense won the day. So we got to look at what we need to improve upon.
How's the competition with the kickers looking right now?
The competition with the kickers, we have one kicker. So there's no competition, just
Okay.
David. He's the only one kicking.
Right.
And because Timmy Gleason had back surgery, Michael Cintron's the only one punting. So it's a competition of one. So until Timmy gets healthy, we just don't have any competition now. I will say this, though. We're putting David Bonagora in some real tough situations. You saw at the end we had the team come out and surround him and scream and yell and try and make it as pressure-packed as we could.
Obviously.
How's he doing in those situations?
Today it was 100%. Prior to today, it was shaky at times, but today he hit them all. And the one that he did miss, they called a penalty, so he got to re-kick it. So, today's his day.
How important is it to get those positions straightened out, Vince? I think we kind of overlook kicker and punter sometimes.
Yeah, here's what I tell those guys. Nobody thinks about a punter or a kicker until you fail to convert a first down, right? Or you fail in the red zone. Hey, now we need 3 points. Now we need a great punt. So a lot of times it is overlooked. What we're trying to do here is obviously create a situation where we have a pair. We have 2 guys ready that are game worthy and can go and punt in the Big Ten or kick in the Big Ten. And some of that helps when it comes into fall, guys, let's be honest. I mean, right now, with Tim being out and Michael getting all the punts and David being the only kicker, that's not enough to compete in a full season.
Coach, the tight end position, what's that look like? Who's really asserted themselves there?
Right now, today it would be Arsh, Flanagan, and Scarf, and the order has changed almost daily. When I plus and minus a practice, it could be as close as 17, 15, 12 pluses. It's very, very close. Right now, I'm very comfortable with all 3 of them in the game. They all 3 have their strengths. They all 3 have their weaknesses. And after that, we've got some young guys that are injured. Folkridge is out with a hamstring. Bear is out with a high ankle. So Nakia is getting all the young guy reps. But right now, it's between those first 3. And depending on the situation, it might be a different guy in the game. If we were to play a 2 tight end offense right now, it would be Flanagan and Arsh, and they're interchangeable, I feel, at this point in time.
How much has Flanagan been able to do with his finger? How much of a limitation is that?
He missed about 2 days. He's a tough guy. If I showed you a picture of that, man, it was awful. Never seen that injury before. And he's got to protect it now. He's got a splint on it. He's doing what he's supposed to do, and he didn't really miss any time. We just had to hold him back because he had stitches, and I didn't want his blood pressure to go up with stitches.
What you mentioned if you go 2 tight ends. I don't know that we've seen a lot of 2 tight ends in Drew's offense. Like, what is the role of the tight end, I guess, in the power spread?
Well, you haven't seen 2 tight ends because we don't do that. But if we had to go to that situation, if we had to say, hey, who are the 2 you're going to play, it's those 2 guys. We're not a 12 personnel team. We're an 11 personnel team. But, everybody has a little bit of everything. If we ever got to that phase, those would be the first 2 guys to play. And whether one's the Y and one the U, here's what I look at now. We got 1A, 1B, and 2. Okay, and Flanagan and Arsh are 1A, 1B, and Chuck is 2.
Tight ends have to be versatile, I guess, a little bit.
In this offense, they do a lot of different things. They line up a lot of different places, and so far so good with learning the system. I think right now we need to get back into being fundamentally sound. There was a lot of mental stuff we had to go through early on, and they've done a nice job with it.
We've seen, talking special teams, we've seen how explosive Janarian is. Do you have anybody else you're comfortable with yet so far as a kick returner, punt returner?
Yeah, but I don't want to cast that person out there yet. We've got a couple other guys that are getting reps, and one of them, 2 of them, the more the merrier. But right now, I don't want to put that pressure on a young man. I don't think that's fair to him. We've only practiced 8 times.
When you're looking for a guy, kick returner, punt returner, what really has to be there for you to, put him in that role?
They have to be trustworthy about catching the ball, and really you got to be brave. I mean, that's a tough job, especially punt. Kickoff's a little different because there's a little more time. When that punt's in the air and there's 11 guys within 40 yards and they're running full speed, you got to have a guy. You've got a lot of courage now, and we ask them to get vertical, go straight forward as fast as they can, and that requires a guy that not only's got confidence to catch the ball, but the toughness and the skill set to get north and south right away. And that's where Jay's so good. Jay goes fast, but he goes from one step to full speed immediately.
Coach Ash said you guys were going to knight a bunch of guys today. Can you tell us who you knighted?
I don't remember. It was offensive lineman, defensive lineman. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It wasn't one of the tight ends, I can tell you that. So I'm going to use that as motivation for Tuesday's practice.
Coach, on the pass,